What's up, boss? You believe that? Hold on. You believe that? Please. Let's go.
All right. What's going on, guys? Great news. We've been waiting on another tight end. Turns out our new tight end was already on the roster. I love this. That's what we're going to talk about today. It's probably going to be a little bit short of a stream. It's got to run here in 20 minutes, but that's plenty of time to cover this news of Morgan Pearson. Thanks to Reach the People Media. Thank you for ScoBuffs memes and forgetting the other account that I saw. Put this on Twitter. Thank you guys for letting me know about all this. Zion, what's going up? What's going on? Appreciate it. Hit up my friend Josh Bonnett if you need any music made. But Morgan Pearson, this is another athlete that, hey, he's moving over to work with Brett Bartolone. I love this. Okay, we got Savell Smalls. We now got Morgan Pearson making a transition. I love this. Absolutely love this. This guy is a pure athlete, and we need him on the field. If that's not going to happen at the linebacker position, we are in desperate need of more tight ends. So this is great stuff, guys. Absolutely love it. Y'all be sure to hit that like on the way in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, live or on the replay. As always, greatly appreciative of all of you guys. We're on our way to 7,000 subs, so hit that like, hit that subscribe if you like Buffs content. But hey, let's go ahead and get into it. So you're probably wondering, who is Morgan Pearson? Morgan Pearson was one of those guys that I was really pumped about coming into Colorado last year. I remember dnvr had him very early on as one of the projected starting inside linebackers as a true freshman for the Buffaloes last year. Of course, we didn't get to see him on the field much at all. Redshirted this past year. Coming out here from Oklahoma, was the number 6 player in the state. Played a lot of safety, played some wide receiver, kind of did a little bit of everything. Did a video on him. Was one of my favorite underrated prospects for the Buffs last year, and I'm excited to see this. 6'1" might not be the ideal height that you want to see out of college football tight end, but it'll be good enough. And I think he's an above average athlete. That's kind of how I see him as. So before we get into the highlights, showing you a little bit of what he can do on the field at this position. Triple threat player at Ardmore High School, okay? Saw snaps at wide receiver, multiple defensive spots, and returned kicks as well. Senior season had 14 touchdowns in 10 games, including 3 interception returns and 2 kickoff returns. The guy was scoring in every aspect of the field. That was one thing that I liked and continue to like about a lot of the players that we bring in. These are guys that not only are dominant in one phase of the game, they're dominating in all 3 phases of the game. And Morgan Pearson fits that criteria. He was a special player in all 3 aspects of the game, okay? Max Preps had him with 16 receptions for 282 yards and 5 touchdowns in 6 games. That's great. That was his junior year, I'm guessing, because then his sophomore year had 48 receptions, 831 yards, and 10 touchdowns. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. But yeah, you can see pretty much all the rankings sites, they had him as the number 6 player in Oklahoma, big time athlete. And I'll go ahead and get to some of his highlights here. Hopefully y'all can see this. Well, you can see the man has got hands. I mean, just look at this interception right here. Bam, one-handed. Looking like OBJ, right? But yeah, I'll have this play as I kind of go through the comments, give you guys my thoughts. Again, go look at Reach the People Media. They had in the video yesterday with him talking about his transition. Sorry you couldn't play baseball here, man. We don't have baseball, but you can at least score some touchdowns for us this year. I mean, this would be absolutely fantastic. You can see a big time playmaker, a guy who is always doing big things with the ball. And I thought this was funny. He said, like, no shade to Coach Hart or something like that. No shade to Coach Hart, but I wanted to be able to get on the field and thought that his fastest path to getting on the field is at the tight end position. And I totally agree. I mean, it's a pretty open room right now, open competition, but I feel a little bit better now that we got a full kind of room of scholarship guys. So we got Shimon Mateer, of course. I mean, man, look at that interception. We got Shimon Mateer and Louis Passarello. I would still say that those are our best two tight ends that we have right now. And then after that, Savell Smalls, it's been a long time since he's played this position. I mean, look at this playmaking ability right here. This is a guy that we had playing tight end. And yeah, and Savell Smalls, it's been like 4 years since he's played. But Morgan Pearson, he's played tight end just a couple years ago. So this is something that I think he'll have a little bit more of a natural transition back to. And I think he's an explosive, raw athlete. I mean, that was the thing with him playing linebackers, that it might take him a little bit, because while he is a great athlete, he's just a little bit raw at the position. And hey, why not have him play a little bit more naturally? I love that Corey Phillips approached him saying, hey, what do you think about moving back to this type of position? He's like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. So I would say that Morgan Pearson, he can be a vertical threat. Oh man, I got the audio going for this. Can't have that going on. That's gonna screw me up here. But a guy that I think can be a little bit of a vertical threat, a guy who's got some vision. I mean, that was just an insane hit. Again, you can see why he was recruited as a linebacker, and I was very excited for this. But hey, look at this. Give him the ball in space. Not even a little bubble screen. It's just a quick hit pass. You can see that he has the ability to make guys miss. He's got good vision with the ball in his hands. I mean, you could see that from some of the kick and punt returns. And, of course, with him playing the defensive side of the ball, he's not afraid to get physical. And we need that from the tight end position. We need a guy that's going to be able to not only get downfield, stretch the field, challenge the defense, challenge the secondary. We need a guy that's going to throw his body out there and block with some tenacity. And I think that he really brings that ability to do that. So I threw Brett Bartolone in this picture or my thumbnail because I think he's going to be really excited to have an athlete like this work with him. And I think Brett Bartolone's done a good job of developing, the wide receivers over the course of his career. I think we saw good production from the wide receivers last year. And with him transitioning over to the tight end coach position, I think that we're going to have tight ends that are able to be threats in the receiving game, no doubt. We'll see how well he can coach them to block and everything like that. But I imagine that Coach Holt will be working with these guys too in some respect. But big time playmaker with the ball in his hands. Again, look how he finished that play right there, running through the guy on the sideline. So I'll get to some of your comments here. Zion, they recruited him at the wrong position. He says his original position was tight end the whole time. Yeah, he played more so safety, I think a little bit of linebacker. He was kind of all over the field if you go through and look more of his huddle tape. And probably why he was recruited as a linebacker going into college, I would imagine, is because he's 6'1". That's probably why. You like to have your tight ends a little bit bigger than that, and 6'1" is just, that's plenty of okay size at inside linebacker. But hey, he might be a little short, whatever. He's not playing quarterback. He's going to be okay. If he can run and can block, who cares if he's not 6'3"? So yeah, a little bit undersized as a tight end, but I think that he can make the transition and do well with it just from like an athleticism perspective. Let's see how much of the details he's really able to incorporate into his game this offseason. We'll just have to see. Can't wait to see him in the spring game, though. I got to say that. Pearson switched tight end, no linebackers. Yeah. Oh. Again, we want to see Coach Hart develop one of those linebackers, right? It's not going to be Morgan Pearson. But this is another feather in the cap of the guys who are very skeptical of Coach Hart, and I'm one of those guys right now too. So right now he's about 225. That's how they have him listed right now on the CU website is 6'1", 225. So you'd like to see him put on a little bit more weight as well. I would assume he's going to be bigger than that, or is already bigger than that. But yeah, undersized tight end. But I like this idea of addressing another area of need with a guy who has potential to immediately contribute to this group. I like this. We've been wondering, hey, where are the tight ends? Where are the tight ends? Hey, we've converted 2 from the linebacker edge position whoa, knocked my mic down, to that tight end position. So that leaves us with 4 scholarship tight ends. And then we got some walk-ons like Yelverton, if I remember correctly. I think he's still here. So that's cool. You can go 5 deep at that position right now. Hopefully we see a little bit more 2 tight end sets this year. And I would imagine that inside linebacker is still going to be a position that we go after in the portal as one of our top priorities after spring ball ends and the portal reopens, right? I'm very skeptical of Coach Hart. He has some linebackers coming into spring visits, so we shall see. Yeah, and again, we did get that guy, a few weeks ago, high school commit coming from Florida, played at like a 3A school or something like that. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. Did he ever work out with the safety? Seems like to have some great coverage instincts, not going to lie. Yeah, I don't think he's got the speed to play college safety. I really don't. You can see it was kind of similar to one of those guys, or one of the guys I was just talking about, the linebacker that we brought in, Garcia from Florida, kind of playing at a lower level. And so that way, when you're looking at the tape, I mean, you can see that his athleticism really pops off. I think he's a really good athlete. I think Morgan Pearson is too, but I don't think he was also facing the best competition in terms of other high school football players at the level that he was playing there at Ardmore, Oklahoma. I still think that was a smaller Oklahoma high school. I don't think that was top level. And so, yeah, I don't know if he has that type of coverage, speed, and skill that you see from a guy like Cameron Silman Craig. But yeah, if you're wondering who is Morgan, yeah, he's a 3-star guy that we brought in last year, somebody that I was really excited about. I was excited to see him hopefully get some snaps at the linebacker position. It's a bummer that we never saw that. I don't know if we'll ever get answers to that specific question of why didn't we see any linebackers play outside of the few that we saw before we converted Trevor Woods to linebacker. We'll have to see. But I like him a lot. A guy that did a lot of different things. Obviously, you're a really good athlete if you're returning kicks, you're playing safety, and you're playing wide receiver most of the time. Like out there in Oklahoma, that's great. I think, again, just being a little bit shorter, undersized of a tight end, I think if he brings that sort of tenacity, that can make up for being a little bit smaller. Okay. Stretch. Yeah, man. The haircut, I got to trim the beard too. I'm just a mess right now. But yeah, man, my haircuts never last very long. Yes. And again, a guy who tackled really, really aggressively, and we need that kind of aggression from the tight end position. We didn't have that this past year. We had a converted receiver. It was kind of more of a finesse tight end last year, Mikey Harrison, and hopefully all the guys that we see play this year are a little bit more well-rounded, a little bit more physical. So yeah, 4 scholarship, 5 total. I don't know if we have any other walk-on tight ends outside of Yelverton. Oh, we got 7. See, I can't even remember. But no, totally redshirted last year, along with the majority of our 3-star guys. Probably Jaden Milner-Jones, Hank Zelinskis, and Carter Stoutmeyer were our only 3-star signees from last year's class that got on the field to really do anything of note. I guess you could include Caleb Mathis there a little bit as well, but he was a walk-on. I don't even know what he was rated, to be honest. But you could throw him in there as well. So that's kind of like 4 of those guys. But yeah, I mean, right now, it seems like with what people who are in the know seem to be saying is that, yeah, we might still see Trevor Woods at safety or at linebacker. so y'all get ready for that. But I do think he will be better if he does play linebacker, one, because he has a real offseason to prepare for it. They did him no favors throwing him at that position halfway through the season. And I think our defensive line, our front 7 will be better. And that, overall, that should benefit anybody that's back there playing the inside linebacker position. Angela, another great player you're bringing up. Victory Johnson. This kind of clears a little bit out of that position group for him to have a quicker path to playing time. I want to see Victory Johnson. The man's like, what, 6'4", 245 pounds, 250 pounds? The man is huge. He's jacked. And I think he has the potential to be a really good inside linebacker for us. Can Coach Hart develop any of these guys? We're going to have to see. He's got one less guy to work with now. So, anyways, guys, shorter of a stream. I have to hop onto a call here soon. But yeah, overall, this is news that I'm very excited about because I'm a Morgan Pearson fan. If we can have more athletes on the field like Morgan Pearson, I think we're better off. I wish, honestly, my preference was that it would have worked out at the inside linebacker position because we are just of such big need right there that I would have liked to see him and Victory Johnson get their shots this past year. But for whatever reason, we didn't get that. We also have a need at the tight end position, and I think he's got the mentality to do it. I think he's got the physical tools to do it as well. So, I'm approaching this with an open mind. If he was just going to ride the bench this whole year from the inside linebacker position, that's a waste of a scholarship. Just like Savell Smalls. If he's just going to not get any playing time at the edge, we got 2 scholarship tight ends. Move those guys over. Let's get them on the field. Let's get more of our better athletes on the field. So y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. Really appreciate everybody who jumped in here with me very quickly after the DNVR show ended. I just want to get out here and get this out here before this meeting. So really appreciate your guys' dialogue. Y'all checking in. Hit that subscribe again. We're on our way to 7,000. Good Lord. This is crazy stuff. So I'll be back later on. Appreciate you guys as always. Let's go Buffs.